to the We Speak Tangent podcast, where we talk to neurodivergent entrepreneurs.
Hello, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of Speak Tangent. And for those that have working eyes, you'll see that we're not in the studio this week. We're doing this virtually. We're doing this with like the COVID overlay. We want to go back to the olden days.
The good days.
Yeah, where we
the global
couldn't,
pandemic.
yeah, where we didn't leave the house. Yeah.
Before times, not the now times, the mid times.
Yes.
Or soon.
But hello once again. I'm Michael.
I'm James.
And I'm Kat.
And I'm Amelia.
So this week we have a couple of things to talk about. So this is our New Year episode where we talk about we've had the Christmas episode. So we're going to talk about all of the things that happen in New Year. And would anybody like to start?
I just thought we should have dressed up New Year's Eve.
Hi.
Of us, I mean, to be fair, this is probably quite neurodivergent for us not to be.
This is what happens at New Year.
Yeah,
This is what we are.
This is it.
I went out for New Year's once, but I didn't dress up. I had a hat on.
That's it.
That's still dressing up.
Yeah.
You'll know, see me at New Year.
But then why is
Just another day?
Why is that? Because it's like it's just, why would you not go out on New Year's?
Well, there's no man coming down the chimney. Why bother?
I think for me is I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, so that isn't just the only part. It's like that does play a big, huge part. I'm not playing that down anything. It is my choice, but as a neurodivergent is the reason why I don't go out. It's busy. There's people overthinking, looking at people. I have a habit of staring at people. And if I was to tell you how many times that and the bold Scottish text of "Are you looking at my bird?" has been said, and I'm genuinely just staring because I'm hyper focusing. So past tense New Year's, no for me. Like the main one there is the busyness. It is a busy time, no matter where you go. I feel people's energy, and it isn't all good. And then again, being a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, you can feel that, there gets to that certain level, voices start going up, the same stories repeated. Being autistic, I heard your story the first time, and now you've added 3 bits on, and it means it's not real to me. So disengage, curtain shut, telly on, cup of tea. There's me for New Year.
I think it's always like if you did, like whenever I have been out, there's always such pressure around it as well. Like you have to have a good time, which makes it automatically, and it's like, but it's like the pressure of then having the forced joyness of it is then I go a bit stubborn. I'm like, well, I'm not going to have a good time. Like,
so not everything about the old year was good, and also I'm not like 100% hopeful about the new one either. Like, it's just
that's one for the bingo card. Of all the people to mention forced joy, I didn't think it would be Amelia. Like that's.
There's something about it annoys me.
But I did used to like when I lived in London. I used to stay up and watch the fireworks because I liked being able to watch them on the telly and watch them from the window as well.
See, that's also I'm a sleepy girl. I'm in bed at like 8-9 p.m. The idea of having to stay up till midnight is
generally, but like, I don't always anymore.
Maybe there should be a calendar for the new year, and if I get a chocolate or something, I'd maybe be more inclined.
Okay,
on the hour.
On the hour, there's your chocolate.
To be fair, you just buy a calendar from Christmas.
I was thinking there. I think we had a conversation the other day about the dopamine harvest that I named it. Imagine they had a dopamine calendar.
Yeah, we could easily make that. Are you referring to the dopamine menu?
I like that. I've actually wrote that down in my other wee diary. I think that was great.
Yeah,
I call that a pleasurable activities list. But anyway, dopamine menu sounds more exciting.
But then it's also as well, like I feel like it's not in my diary. I always have like films that I like and TV shows and music because I'm just culturally a film and music person. So if you ever are feeling in a bad or anything, you can then go to it, as opposed to like activities or things.
Yeah, I have. There's an app called Virtual Hope Box, and I have. Yeah, you can have like all your phone numbers for like the people that you want to talk to, and photos, and also lists of things you can do in there. It's quite nice having.
We need to
all in
pick
one
Amelia
space.
up off the emotional floor.
Aye.
What do you mean?
Well, doesn't having the new diary excite you? I mean, is New Year just bad from
Do you
start to
make your new
finish?
diary?
No, I like it. But I've already got my new diary.
Oh, okay.
It started in August, I think.
Oh, you got a halfway diary.
Yeah.
I very
didn't know-
optimistically got myself a diary, despite the fact that I never use one. But
didn't
it's
know
got
that-
like how guess how much I love you on it, so I love it.
The half diary existed until I got halfway through the year, and I was like, "Where's the rest of it?"
I
Elsewise known as the academic diary.
Yeah.
I've been ripped off. Was my first word.
That's the first time I've ever heard the term halfway diary.
Yeah.
So, but that means you've got to buy it twice. Is it cheaper?
No, you just buy it every July instead of every January.
Oh, okay.
I just
Yeah.
assumed my life had ended, and that was
Yeah.
it. There's nothing else for me.
Yeah. No, I remember when I went to the riding school, it was like when coming kind of this time of year, you'd have like the diary, and then you'd have the new diary, and you'd have to make sure that you put things in both of them, and it all got very complicated, and then eventually the old diary would get lost.
Yeah.
That would
I am.
make you, yeah.
I am your stereotypical ADHDer. I do have quite a few diaries, a bit like your calendars.
I was going to say.
I don't need them. I just think they look
Mhm.
cool, and then I
Yeah,
end
but
up
it's
with
to
these
have fun.
diaries.
It's like when you're a kid and in like September you'd go back, well, in England in September you go back to school and you always buy new stationery, and like the smell of like going to Smith's and getting like new pens or whatever it would be so satisfying. It's the same thing. I could buy all the stationery in the world. I wouldn't use it because I use it, but it's the buy.
I've got a wee pocket full of stuff here that's stationary, and I've never used it. It's just I like looking at it.
Exactly, and if you need it, it's there.
I know,
Off to
but
the
I'll never
stationary
use it.
orphanage.
They come here to retire.
The ADHD thing of it. Have you seen the meme about like hiring out the hobbies that you bought everything for but are not doing?
Oh yeah,
You can swap all the equipment around to people who have it as a new special interest and might actually do it.
It's bound to be like an OD ADHD Facebook marketplace. Like that's somewhere between like retirement and Zimmer frame. Like I started this stitch. I don't want it anymore.
Do that as part of the work.
Yeah.
It's always the fear as well. If you throw it out, you're gonna need it. It's like I mean, I've got 40 or 50,000 photos on my phones now, and it's the same procedure. I'll need them one day. They screenshots.
You just buy a different phone and transfer them over,
That's
and
what
then
I
put it in
did.
a drawer. Yeah.
You should have photo albums.
Oh no!
Yeah, but then you have to print them out and put them together.
Put them in the little Polly Pocket bag.
I respect that, but
I know, I love
These
it.
aren't my photos.
They're all
I
black
do
and white,
have,
Amelia.
I do have photo albums from
when were you
old
born?
photos.
When were you
when
born,
you could still
Amelia?
get like your photos printed, I used to put them into photo albums.
Yeah.
Do you have the camera with the little curtain that you put over your head and just,
Yeah.
you know, stand still?
It's magical if you have it printed out, and it's yeah. And then also as well, like I'm starting a new tradition this year for New Year's of going through my phone photos and printing them out, because you can print them out quite cheap nowadays. And I've collected obviously old people's photo albums because they're beautiful photos, and it's a shame that someone's life and memories are going in the bin, or whatever. So I'm now actively starting to delete off my phone and print them out and like create my own photo albums.
I wish I could do that. I'm glad you
What
finished
if,
that.
what if
there,
your house
when you
burns
said
down
you're
and you lose all
collecting
the
old
photo
people.
albums, and then the photos don't exist anymore?
What was that, Kat? I was focusing on James saying I'm collecting old people.
I was like, what's going on? I've got paintbrushes, but I don't.
Yeah,
have
I mean, Amelia's like
people.
spread it out over other people's lives.
Actually, have you seen that behind me? I'm just a show and tell. This is an old granny that I caught. No, I didn't. It's a little
girl still shocked. Look at
when I was
that.
little.
Yeah, they're like the German coal incense burners, and the smoke comes out of her mouth.
Yeah.
That's not an old granny that I've actually collected. But
What's the thing next to it? Sorry, you draw attention to it, and then I can't
the cat.
Oh, it's a cat. Sorry, I thought it was something that was cancelled.
No, it's a black cat. It's a bowl.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're
It's what
good.
happens when a Toby jug and a cat and a soup bowl all have a baby.
A cog.
Yeah. An American designer.
Welcome to Things We Collect.
But you know what? Like this is
Start
yeah,
that.
this
That'll be
really
like a 6-hour
I could use this as like a New Year's Eve party thing. That's how we get back
Oh,
on.
well, there you go.
Sacrificial bowl.
Yeah.
Oh.
The closer you look, the weirder the background probably would end up getting. There's a lot of random things in the bookshelf.
I'm doing full on James. I'm like, look at your cupboards, look at your shelves. Have some
Aye,
stuff.
aye, that's
Proof I can read. That's all.
yeah, Michael.
Backdrop-wise.
Do one better. Get this screenshotted and zoom in later.
No.
I'm being
What is
videoing
this?
it.
Exactly.
Zoom in.
Everyone can pause it and zoom in later.
Well, I just realized that I was the only one that didn't sort of say what I do at New Year. So I was out last year because I was paid. Thank you, venue. But it's a non-event because I mean the whole time thing changes. Because usually, if you play for 4 hours, you're assuming that for 2 and a bit, 3 hours, it's busy. Whereas everything happened at like midnight, obviously, like the countdown, and then people just were like, "Oh, okay, it's New Year," like, and they were busy going off doing whatever folks do at New Year. But it was it was nice. It was fairly joyous, and I mean, as things go, I was perfectly safe and on it, and I was locked into my little room and playing, and it was fine. But it's a whole thing that I've missed, really. I mean, my New Year's have been watching Jules Holland on BBC Two, and then you stay for the bagpipe bit, and then you have a cup of tea and go to bed and go, oh, New Year. And then the whole resolutions thing doesn't really start until I wake up again, because I'm just like, we're not there yet. But I think there's a whole separate piece about resolutions and things that we say we're going to do, and the pressures associated with it.
Did you want some facts for New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
Is this like 90% of people don't keep them?
No, opposite.
Well, that was
Okay.
quick.
Oh, hang on.
Susie Dent in the corner, right? Okay, yeah.
Oh, I think this is the. Oh, here we go. No, only 19% of people who set New Year's resolutions are able to maintain them. That's from a study in the 80s, though.
Single, divorced, depressed.
Yeah. According to Harvard Business Review, individuals with specific goals perform 90% better than those with vague or no goals. So if you are setting New Year's
goals for the win, man.
Exactly, smart goals, which we can touch on in a moment. The Dominican University found that 42% of people are more likely to achieve goals when they write them down. Smart goals again. And entrepreneurs. Exactly, yeah.
Bit of string.
Yeah. Entrepreneurs who share their goals with a trusted mentor or accountability partner are 78% more likely to achieve them. That's from the Association for Talent Development, which
that's a cool factoid.
Who knew that existed, but interesting. So if you are setting New Year's goals, you need to be like not vague, specific, write them down and share them with a mentor or accountability partner in order to get them done.
Just get it done on the day.
Yeah.
Do all of them.
Just do
it. I'm
it.
distracted by trying to remember if I can remember what smart goals are off the top of my head.
Would you like the definition of smart goals?
Specific, measurable, achievable.
So, hang on. Let's get to the end. Achievable,
relevant,
time bound,
and time bound.
Yeah. Do you want an example?
We don't need the fact. We've got cat. We don't need the fact. We got.
Yeah, but I always when I looked up smart goals probably like 2-3 years ago, saying all that, it didn't go into my head. Like I need an example for it to make sense. So if you said that your goal was to increase engagement on social media, that's being specific for business. It's measurable because you're going to boost engagement, like the likes and the follows and saves and shares and all that malarkey. It's achievable by what you're going to do and you posting 3 times a week. And then it's relevant because it's linking into your social media, your business, and then you promoting your business. But then if you give it a time bound thing of saying like, okay, I'm going to reevaluate after 6 months, and then kind of go from there.
It's funny.
Irrelevant also can be about how much it means to you. So if it doesn't have meaning for you and tag into your values, then you're less likely to stick to it.
You always hear about New Year's resolutions for selfishness stuff. What about for other people? You know, like what about like, oh, maybe I'm go out and help somebody, or it's always quite selfish. It's like the Christmas thing in it. Oh, I want this and I want that. Whereas, you know, just go out there and try and be a human, man.
I don't do resolutions. I do a puja.
We do what?
You do
Thank you.
what?
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Okay.
Pooja. A puja.
A puja.
Yeah. So a puja is like you can either be a fire puja or a water puja, or actually, no, you can do.
Are we sure what we're talking about?
Yes.
I like this.
You can do an earth one as well. But I usually do a fire puja. So like so, shut up, James.
This is going wrong.
Oh my god.
So you write down everything that you want to leave in the old year. So like stuff like indecision or a sense of unworthiness or all that kind of stuff. And then you on one set of pieces of paper, little ripped up pieces of paper, and then on another set of pieces of paper you write the things you want to bring it to like grow in the new year, like love and self-belief and all that stuff.
I'm sorry, I can see
James is still like creased in the corner. And then once you've got those two sets of paper, then I would do like some mantras, and then you put the stuff that you want to leave in the old year and burn those. Then you burn.
Come on, team, focus. It's a serious point.
Then you burn.
It's good. Come on,
that you want to grow in the new year, and then you put like a rice offering and a grain offering onto the fire, and then you do more mantras, and then that's what I do because it's.
But then, do you think as well, like having it creating a ritual for it makes it something that you're going to stick with more, because like you say earlier, like you have that connection with it. It's like in witchcraft, if you do, you know, you work with the moon woman, the new moon, by creating those like habits.
That I think that last year I also did I did a video with it on there, and like I think that meant I could look back at it and go, oh yeah, cool. I was releasing those. Like, yeah, I can see the difference between then and now, and I'm growing those things, and that's what I'm focusing on.
I think that's a really interesting point as well, because like
you
have to document it.
Yes, yeah,
because
exactly. And then I'm like putting it out there. Everybody knows that that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. See, I think I'd find it, if I was putting stuff out there, it would be like a little bit daunting. But I do love the fact that like I can look back on my old diaries and be like, oh, that's what I was doing Wednesday last year. Oh, hang on a minute. Since that, I've done this, that, and the other. And I think it's really important to be able to look back and see how far you've come in a year.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that year, it doesn't have to be New Year's. It could be like, you know, August to August or what have you. But I think it's important to recognise the development. Or what?
What about like that's great and totally get it. What about for somebody listening that's neurodivergent and wants to try that? Obviously, they can reach out. But what happens when the things you don't hold up your end of it? You know, there'll be times where you've put stuff into this and it's not completed. What happens then? I'm quite interested in the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think because I don't do SMART goals, because I find that they put lots of pressure on me, and then I just don't do anything about it. Because I'm like, no, I've put a specific time on that, so I won't be able to do it by then. So then I just don't do it, and then I'll like manically try to do it like the moment just before the time thing happens. So I think because mine are not vague, but more values based than activity based. I think that makes it easier for me to do something that I quite often do. So like in meditation, if you're focusing on your breath, for example, I will come back from this tangent. Then like your mind will drift to something else, because that's what your mind does, and then you just bring your attention back to your breath. And I kind of try and do that in life as well. So it's like if I notice, oh, that wasn't a very authentic interaction, or I wasn't being the presence of love in that situation, then I'll reevaluate it and be like, I'm getting a lot better at just being like, okay, that happened. That wasn't where I want to be. refocus, move on.
Yeah. But do you think as well, like it, in terms of like what you were saying, James, and you're not completing your goals, do you not think as well, like we need to become better with failure? Because you know what? If you don't do it, you don't do it.
Because what's
you
failing?
Can always break it down.
You always learn something from whatever you have done.
Yeah.
It's all information.
Yeah, and the idea, like, right, okay, I'm gonna, like, let's say, like, okay, well, my business is gonna earn 10 grand in the next month, 2 months, whatever. Let's just be, whatever. And you don't hit it. You've tried. You've learned something.
And there are stuff. Yeah, exactly. You've always, and you're usually like a step further, even if that step is like, oh, going left didn't work, so I'll go right, try right next time. Like it all allows you to go forward eventually. There's loads of little things you can do to like encourage stuff like that, like writing, writing yourself the check and having it sat on your desk and all that kind of stuff.
Jim Carrey model.
Is that when, like, I get that, like, I can only describe it like, that moment where you've just realised that you promised to do something. No, not just to yourself. You were bringing it physically into the world, and you've just realised, well, I genuinely forgot all about that. That feeling's like somebody in the day, like today, somebody's added something, or they've requested us in the diary, and like, boom, instantly I'm like, wow, that's just hit me, like something just fell for the sky, and that's the most important thing in my life right now, is like, and that's a dangerous thing. But I get it, there's growth in there, but it's like, I guess what I was after, like, in that moment, again, we're back to the new year as a neurodivergent entrepreneur. In that moment, I'm cacking myself, and I use my words politely there, but it's like that feeling, like it's like an instant cold sweat. It's like anxiety, it's impulse, it's everything, a promise, and thinking that whole moment. If you've ever seen a film and it smalls it and it comes right down and it goes right through the universe into your mind, that's what it feels like, and that's not extreme either.
But I think that's the strength. I think there's a couple of things there. I think that it depends on the goals. If you are neurodivergent and it's your first business and you set up a thing, as Amelia said, of making X amount, like if you can afford to lose that, then it becomes like I didn't do that, but I'll try harder next time. If it's your survival, you won't need to write it down. And I think it's the fear of it. I think in a business context, it's good to put some pressure on yourself. It could just be how people work, because then there's more chance that you'll actually get up and do it. I think, but I also like Kat's idea about actually having a sort of ceremony and doing it that way. I think there are many. You talk about failure in business. It's yes, you learn something, and yes, I think because when you're divergent, it hits harder. Because we are hyper-focused humans, but I also think that what's been discussed, it's like people that have a real idea about time and time management, and if I don't get that done by February, March, then well, I have tried to, in my New Year's resolutions, I've tried to not put like my personal New Year's resolutions as opposed to what I want to achieve business-wise or finance-wise. I try not to put too much pressure on myself in my personal resolutions, because I think that you don't want to be utterly surrounded by failure. You don't want to be like, I didn't do that, I didn't do this.
You kind of touched it on it as well, like the time blindness of it all. Because, like as a, I mean, who is neurotypical, but like we are a subset of humanity who are famously not great at time judgment. So, quite often it is like, oh yeah, I could totally do that by then, and you can't. And that's
I think it's like balance as well, though, isn't it? Because whenever I set goals, and it's almost like, when you're writing a to-do list and ticking it off is really satisfying. So you do, like, I always start with some
We are completely different people.
I hate them. But yeah, carry on.
like stuff off is satisfying. But like, I always, whenever I'm setting goals, I always do a few that are like, the big goals, but then you break down that goal into more like manageable chunks that you know that you're going to do. And if there are ways that you're like, okay, well I've found a lot of pressure on that, or I don't want to do that, then even by setting the goal, you've then figured out something about
you worked
learning
out
about yourself.
How to do it, even if you don't do all of the stuff.
This
wonder where you went.
This was a goal that I had set. Let's just say
one of the whiteboards
3 months ago, and it says Monday, hoover the stairs, etc., etc. I've done none of them 3 months ago, but it's there, and like
I have one of those too.
Like
pet away,
clean and spray something shelf, and then the stairs, and then put the washing away.
Oh, put washing away.
Washing put away.
Pet away. Put away.
Pet away, you only March to March.
That'll do. I put the effort in a wee bit.
That's like it's tortoises in the fridge time. Some people do put their pets away now.
Not in the fridge. You don't put a tortoise in the fridge.
Yeah, though. My friend has them just in the salad drawer.
Aye, cool them down.
Why?
But hang on,
should they have to hibernate, innit?
Yeah, but like in the fridge.
Thank you. I'm there.
Well, no, because then they have a solid hibernation. Because most people don't want their houses to be cold.
Yeah, I've got a genuine question that's come in. Did they do the toilet?
What, they're hibernating?
No.
What?
No,
that's a proper New Year's resolution. That's
you're
not eating
I never knew that. I never knew that. I don't know.
You're in stasis, isn't it?
Wow.
Weird.
In the fridge.
Folks, if it all fails, become a tortoise.
Tortoise and get
go in the fridge. But it's all. But yeah, I think there are. I mean, I think as I'm not going to say a species or a race of people, but as a community of people, there are some of us that are obsessed by like, I will do this by this time and this by this time, and I've fallen victim to setting those goals and then being very upset that that hasn't happened. So I think this time last year, my New Year's resolution was to get sick less, to be less ill. And it was two things. It was be less ill and just allow the universe to, it's like a reverse New Year's resolution, rather than ask to do something or ask for something and then wait and wait and wait. Just allow the universe to just.
You could call that managing burnout.
Yeah, but I mean, my universe last year was sleeping, so I have to be awake for the universe to interact with moi. So it's
With that, like, does it then depend on what action steps that you put in place? Because surely by that you know that, right, okay, to try and not get more, or you can do this, that, and the other. And at least if you're trying to do one thing a month, you're still in a much better position than you would be this time last year.
And I don't know if that. I mean, I think the way I sort of it's back to my dad again, because there was a moment last year where, and I can say this very freely, I was struggling to connect with my dad, and he sent me a book. He sent me a Untethered Soul book, and I, instead of reading the book, because I thought I'm not going to stick to that, I just listened to the audio book, and then I sent him like links of how to do it. And it was all about just prepare yourself to be open, and so the universe can see that you're open, and whatever happens just happens. Now that for me is a lot easier than sitting with a blank piece of paper and a pen going, I will do this, because I have a tendency to set massive goals and then flatline. You know, I will stand, I will walk, I will work out, I will. And then it gets to about February and I'm just like, But I think that's sad. I think, you know, for me, New Year is the precursor to January. And January, everybody is woefully depressed. You just had Christmas, there's no money, you've got into debt with gifts, as we've said in previous episodes. I have friends that go away in January and don't want to be in the country in January. So yeah.
Yeah, I love January. January is like the end of Christmas.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's a good chance
to coming out of a triggery time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like you say with like it's like the mindset shift of it, isn't it? If you think of it as being daunting, everyone's skin, you've eaten too much over Christmas, whatever, you know, perils might be coming in January. Like, I think it's a really good time to reset the goals and reset like the idea and take that. I know someone ages ago was saying how they work through summer because it's a busy period, they're a photographer, but then they take like the winter months off to reset and they read all the books they can and they get all the knowledge in, and they watch all the TED Talks and they use that time to harvest what they love doing and like making it a magical time for themselves to kind of rejuvenate their soul.
And then you're excited to come back to your...
But what I love is you spend January cleansing and then it's Easter. So it's so stupid. You're just like...
We are just on a sea of, you know, feast and famines.
Yes.
It's like Michael Mackintosh says, you know, slim down for summer, chub up for Crimbo. So weird. But
like
that's a t-shirt.
Yeah. But I also think
I've got the fridge magnets. But yeah, talking about books and baby steps. Shout out to The Power of Ted, which is an awesome book about exactly that. Yeah.
Have you got it close? Mine's in my...
That's what I was looking at.
I give them to everybody. I have like
I've got mine
3 in my house.
I'll just crease the pages to make it look aged. I will read it. I will.
I have read it. I have.
No, I know you have, but you give me a book and I'm just like, I will read it.
There's an audiobook as well. I've had both.
Where's the audiobook available?
Audible, it's a bit too intense.
As far as I'm aware, and other places probably.
Just writing it down in the show notes, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Some of us still have to produce things. There has to be things done.
So I think even bringing it back there to like to the business for New Year, just when you're saying is like, you know, for me, I then have to prepare, and that's probably another reason why New Year's a bit of a shock time. It's like electric chair, it's coming, and I know it's coming. I'm even thinking about it now while it's in December. It's a quiet time. Less money, less activity, less things for me to do. I'll be like the wee tortoise and a turtle in the fridge, man, hibernating. It's like, so it's like as a neurodivergent, I try and put something at least in my diary, because it is a tough time. Pennies.
Sorry.
Don't put the cat in the fridge. What's the cat's name?
Phoebe. This is my mum's cat. She's very photogenic.
Oh, nice.
Yes, she is.
Just you can carry on talking. I'm just going to be
big bushy tail. The cat's was sleeping over there. Aye, so it's just like I'm very aware that it's coming up to that time, and it puts added pressure onto the now time. Even whether I choose to tell people it does or it doesn't, the fact remains that it does. This is the time of year, so it's like double the advertising, double the work, double the painting, and then all of a sudden in January, it's like I find myself walking through the fairy trail, like, right, what's next, James? And that's another big, huge pressure because it's that empty. So it's like.
Do you think that I always say this every year, that January is going to be the time that I prep for the next Christmas. It's like if you know that it's going to be quite creepy, like if you know it's going to be sorry, if you know it's going to be really dead and quiet, so you can then prep for that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you. Sorry.
Yeah,
but
like,
very
I
literally.
like the reframe of like.
Yeah.
It's your like instead of being like, oh, I'm a bit lost, I found myself on the fairy trail. Like, is that can be like your intentionally having that recharge time because you know you're going to have it. Like that's a good reframe.
I took Amelia's point far too literally. I thought you were preparing for next Christmas. I was like, there's 11 months.
I was doing right. 11.
Oh, that is what you. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
I just went a couple of tangents back. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so you,
or,
you
like things that because like this year. Oh, there you go. I was meant to be preparing stuff for Christmas in like I set a thing on my calendar like I'm going to prep for Christmas in July or June, whatever it was. Didn't happen, and then all of a sudden Christmas has come. Yeah, I'm doing some art markets and stuff, but I've not done anything that I was planning to do for Christmas.
Oh, sorry. You meant do the work for the upcoming Christmas market?
Yeah, or any time in the year, because like especially if you're a couple of years into a business and you know that actually Christmas comes around super, super quickly,
which it does.
Any time that I don't know, like even you can set calendar reminders in your Google Calendar for the whole year. You know, that's easily done. Just to then make yourself ease the load when you know that you will be stressed.
Fair. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think for me it was like, so I've only got my model of business. It's like January is still a busy time for us, but you've went through that whole Christmas, people, places everywhere, podcasts and and then all of a sudden January comes. It is just as busy, but there's less of the people. That's you have to mentally prepare for the whole everybody squirrels are.
But that's the universe again. That's the universe.
So you're like preparing yourself as a neurodivergent, is what I'm trying to say, and a business owner is like, so you have to go into that wee shelf of, you have to prepare. There's not going to be a lot of people. For me, I love that.
Yeah,
I love the fact is, but then it comes with money and all the other bits that we always discuss about as a business. It's like, so great that 11 months preparation. I would love to be able to do that, but as we've just seen with my wee board, it lay there for 3 months, man. It's like, I guess we're all different, but I would love to be able to do that.
Maybe... It's also the energy recharge thing. I mean, I think this is a way of me saying I've been around people for too long. I think January I will be going on beaches or trying to get more fit or just resting as about like just trying to, because I mean previous Januaries, and this will be I think the first year where the idea could be coming to fruition and working on it, but Januaries in the past have just been sleep, do nothing. I mean, just rest and recuperate and don't be public, just step back. So I think, the other side of that is if you don't use it, you lose it. So then you're recovering in February and March, thinking you're all rested, but actually your body's like, hang on a minute, we used to do this.
Yeah.
So I think there's models either side, but for a business, it depends on the type of business.
Yeah,
butchers, I don't imagine are busy in January. They've got the sort of turkeys or nut roast or whatever. They've got all of that out their system, all the Christmas markets. So if you can have a business that ticks over every month of the year, where you don't have like a flat line in January, then if it's financial preparing or whatever it is, but historically I've tried to use that time to rest myself. And I think knowing friends who run businesses, I'm very impressed that they're now doing that, because there is a tendency to just keep going. But trends change, people hibernate. Everybody's skint in January. The weather's terrible.
Yeah.
So it is what you make it. And if that is a meditation practice or a candle in the front room or catching up on not council television, or reading books, then great. But certain things work for certain people. But I've never been the sort of, ooh, January, how nice. I'm still sort of recovering, but it depends on the December. So this December for me has not been as busy. So I feel that I can probably use the time in January more than last year, for example.
But I think it's also then it's like the balance of it as well, isn't it? You can't afford to take January off.
Very much so.
You need to then, and then it is like we were saying earlier, like the pressure of January is a quiet month. No one wants to spend any cash. How is my business going to stay afloat?
Yeah.
There's any ways that you can prep that, or having known that throughout the year and put money away, or even like spend that time thinking about actually, how can I put my money into a different pot to make some money or back on it or whatever. It's trying to like cover. It's trying to balance it with having it as a rest period.
Yeah.
Spending time whilst it is quiet to progress yourself and your business, and then also trying to make money.
But also, I mean,
media and all that stuff as well.
Yeah, but also on that, I mean, talk about universe and algorithms. January sales. I mean, I know this is just from my family standpoint.
A lot of people nowadays would like to spend a lot of money in January.
Yeah, that's what. So it's like, even if you're saving, there will be an algorithm or your favorite thing, or talk about social media. I mean, and it's entirely Kat's fault. This. No, this genuinely is your fault. Because now when I look on Instagram, I get links for like chocolate and donuts and these things. Yeah. like Borough 22, like, oh, we're having a sale. Oh, I'm trying to save money. But yeah, algorithms. But this is what we're saying. Businesses need to tick over, but at the same time, in that time where you would be heavy on, as you say, either resting or trying to make money, the universe is like, buy this, do this, meet these people, do that. So yeah, it's just about being, I mean, I don't understand why people in the New Year's resolution haven't went, don't spend money in January. It seems like the lowest hanging fruit and the obvious win.
Have you seen the people who do like no spend years and they just put money aside for food and obviously the bills and rent?
No spend.
Yeah,
I knew someone that did that once, and they just only house expenditure and running gear. That was her only.
Financial independence, retire early. The
But
fire
you know what I
people.
mean? I think that is a really good, and also as well, I think we get so, especially as neurodivergent people, like we're like the dopamine hit when you buy something.
Oh, shiny.
We know it, but then I think there's also the power in knowing that is that's dangerous. Hence why I charity shops, because at least it's cheaper. I'm not going to go for, you know what I mean? Like it's all second hand. It's cheaper than it would be if I was going to the new shops. It's like the balance. If you're aware of it, you can balance it out and try and control it a little bit more.
This is a middle class question. Sorry, Amelia will know this. Do charity shops have a January sale, or is it just another day?
It depends on the shop.
Oh yeah. The best part, you're still giving charity.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Although someone did try and return, someone I was working with ages ago, they were saying how they had to return something to a charity shop, and I was a bit like, "You're going to return it? Like it cost them like a couple of quid?" And I'm like, "Would you not just
donate it?
Like, it's a charity." I know you like put up 5% of the money out there ends up being given to charity, but you're a bit like,
depends what it was. Nobody wants an itchy blanket. Like, I'm returning it to the army.
It wasn't itchy when you bought it.
So, I mean, have we, in terms of time, because usually we have a clock in front of us that tells us how long.
Clock's here. We're on 42 minutes.
Oh God! Right. Okay. We've shot through this. So, what are your? So this is Michael trying to turn it into a wonderful, positive, rounded thing. Now, when this goes out, we will be in 2025. This is like the Graham Norton show.
It's going out on New Year's.
Yeah, it will be.
We're doing it. Okay. Cool.
So yeah. So what are your early, because they might change between now and New Year, but what are some of the things that you are all planning to in resolution?
Can I do something first? Alexa, can you play or say Happy New Year to everyone?
I don't have an Alexa, so that's not worked for me.
Mine's somebody else got an Alexa?
No,
I don't like voices in my house.
That went flat.
When I said I'm antisocial, I mean it.
Everyone at home who has an Alexa, let us know if it worked.
No,
Alexa,
James, it is
off.
December.
No, but when it goes out. I'm with Kat. I don't really make New Year's resolutions. I'm more of a daily affirmation kind of person. But this has got to sound sappy, but ever since meeting you guys, you've gave me a big gift. And that big gift is to understand and get to know the neurodivergent version of myself, especially the autistic side, which I'm more embracing each and every day. So I guess like my gift then to give back for New Year will be to the viewers and people who I bump into. The more I learn, the more I understand about myself, the more I can give away. So that's my
this is
New
the
Year
gift, man.
So that's my wee gift to the world.
But I think the resolution for you, not that I'm making New Year's resolutions for you, James, but give away less.
Oh, aye, there is that, but we're getting there.
I know, but I'm just like,
I
love what you do. I really do. I think it's fabulous. And I think just going by what you've just said, I think this is, and I'm not very good with time, folks, so I think this has been going on forever. This hasn't. This has been going on for like
44
October. No, not today. No, I mean this entire thing. Like, I'm not thinking an hour, Michael. Be quiet.
No. 4 months.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, guys. So this whole thing's been going on for 4 months, and I think James is not the only one that's learnt to fully embrace themselves. So yeah, it's just nice. But I think that the resolution for James is give away less. The resolution for me is don't be as critical. Don't but that's back to New Year's resolution thing. I don't have daily affirmations, but I do like to look up occasionally with the snorkel and kind of go, are we doing this? Are we on it? Are we doing it? But yeah, I mean, this has been going on for 4 months. It's probably like the whole journey has been, I think people know more about me than ever because I've been very private. I think I know more about me. So I think as long as this continues and we can help more people and see more people, then that's a hell of a business New Year's resolution to do, aside from all the other stuff that we've all individually got. Who knows?
Cool. I'll be mainly working on authenticity still. Yeah, which has been my main kind of focus for a couple of years now, 3 years probably. And yeah, there's a massive difference when I look back, and that's really cool. Like even in the last kind of 6 months or so, it's a massive difference. So that's really awesome. And I think, yeah, the more that happens, I think like James was saying, the more and Michael, like the more we understand about ourselves, the more we can relate to other people, and that's always helpful, especially in what I do.
Yeah, I think it's important to then I think it's almost important to have separate goals. Do you know what I mean? Like business.
Oh yeah, business goals.
Personal, professional.
100%. Support the business in that, like growing and developing yourself. And I was going to say, I'm not going to go through all of these, but I did bring out a load of my books that I read.
Wow, look at the post-its. That freaks me out, man.
Wow. Yeah, no.
You just need to make a post-it notebook.
I love Atomic Habits. That is like the best book ever.
But like
amazing. He's a chemist. I love him.
Is he? I didn't know that. But like all of these books.
This will be the thing where Kat says, "I know him. I've had a chat with him. He could be on the thing."
Yeah.
No, I listen. He was on Brene Brown's podcast. That's where I found out about it. It was a beautiful conversation.
But I think it's important for business owners and for people for us to like we've said in previous podcasts, you're only as good as like yourself. It's not that quote, James. You said it in the episode with Kirsty that I've edited today, and it's like a quote.
You can only work on.
You can only see
work with other people if you work on yourself
at a level which you are yourself.
Go to work on yourself before you work with others.
That's it. Yeah. Thanks.
We all pay attention. We've given 4 different examples of the same bloody thing.
It's important to set those goals of things that it doesn't have to be, oh yeah, I'm going to climb Everest. It doesn't have to be a massive goal, but even if you just, and also I would like to point out, I only started being able to read books like 2 years ago. Like I wasn't a reader. I found it really stressful and really like whoa. But in Atomic Habits, by James Clear, he says like you just do like if you want to start reading, just do 20 seconds, do half a minute, and that has really like for getting stuff done. I use it with my teeth, like cleaning my teeth, brushing my hair, like everything. Like just try and make it do like a minute, because everyone can give a minute.
I love his quote from that book. Every action you take is a vote for the person that you want to become. I have that on my wall. It's amazing. It's like, is this thing I'm doing right now an example of the person who I want to be? Is this an example of my authentic self or not?
Yeah, exactly.
American.
Just what you said that there, Amelia, right? I've got a thing about when I'm brushing my teeth. So my electric toothbrush tells me when I have to brush them, but I'm like, being ADHD, I'm like constantly, absolutely not. I've got 3 teeth missing at the back. That doesn't take that long. So they're 3 minutes and I'm deducting it.
Yeah, that's why I got the one that's just like green or red or like white. So like,
that's it.
Yeah. But no, it just says pressures. It doesn't tell you how long you meant to do it. Unless I'm just always like so fast that it doesn't get to the bit, because the old one used to buzz when you
sometimes I let it win, just when the robots take over, and it's like, oh, he was actually all right,
That's why I say thank you to ChatGPT, just in case. Gotta keep on the good side.
Doing all my jobs for me.
Yeah. But I think it is like to round up with it, like it is good to set the multiple goals for yourself because, like you say, like it is yourself before your business.
And then baby step them all because baby steps are the way to go.
I think as well, the message is for the future neurodivergent entrepreneurs is like you say, baby steps, but also a bit of preparation goes a long, long way. It doesn't matter if it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 minutes, 20 seconds, an hour. You need to get that preparation, and that's what I was going with my big ADHD chat there was like, preparation for the January. That's why I know it'll be all right. That's why I can say to myself, New Year maybe not be for you, but don't be so miserable, James, might be for other people. It's not for me. And as a business and neurodivergent, we have to respect other people's neurodivergence and neurotypicals alike. It's like, it isn't easy. I said this before as well, but it gets better. And with the people who are looking on this screen now with their help, reach out to the screen, send an email, just ask.
Leave a voice note.
I leave a voice note. But ask for help, man.
File a fax.
It's so important. Like
I don't have a fax machine.
Do people use fax machines now?
Yeah, in like legal stuff sometimes, yeah.
Get your quills out, write a letter. You can do it.
I'm changing my name, James Alexander Factual Gaffney, please.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Aye, but no, it is, it's a tough time, but it doesn't need to be all tough. It can be great as well. The fact is that you're thinking about being a neurodivergent entrepreneur. Boom, there's your win right there.
Yeah,
and it is, and we're testament to that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is access to the support that you have. And I think we're all guilty, me more than ever, of going, life is terrible, this is awful, and it just takes one person, usually a family member, or it can be one of you that goes, actually, like it's the cat thing again. It's like, check your privilege. You have the platform. You're doing it. People haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
It's about getting, it's about getting people there. So, however you have sort of listened to this podcast and either thought they're talking a load of drivel, or I'm going to read a book with post-it notes, or I'm going to sleep if you follow the Michael model. Like, goals can be adapted. And the biggest, I'm going to say something really sort of dumb, but the biggest win is you being here. So, I mean, I think... And I used to think that was so like, oh, that is such an old thing to say. Like the biggest goal is to still be here and breathing.
Show up.
Show up for yourself. And I think that's the thing to do. So does anybody else have any New Year thing? Because it feels, this is like being able to tell the time without looking at a watch. It feels like we probably went about the hour.
Yeah, we're on 53. We have 7.
There we go. That's okay. Oh, there's 7 minutes.
I mean, I guess
I've got a hat. I'm going to get 2 seconds.
if you choose to listen to this when it comes out on New Year's, at New Year's, start us before the hour. And now we'll say New Year's in a minute when James comes back with his hat.
Oh, we're going to do the countdown.
Yes, we are.
Oh, that's very funny. We just lost Amelia. We're not going to do it.
Also, I'm aware that like me and Amelia are steadily growing into the more darkness, but it's,
I know.
Yes.
The daylight's gone. At least by New Year's, the days will be getting longer.
Yeah, exactly. By the time
mid-January. Yeah.
No, from 21st of December, the days start getting lighter. Winter solstice.
Indeed.
You've got a lot to learn.
That's a whole different pagan you yet, my friend.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
God bless us, everyone.
That doesn't just look like a hat. That looks like you've been to one of
those
those
a hit.
hat
Also,
milliner
you need
people.
to roll it down your forehead a little bit more.
Yeah, like
yeah, exactly. A good top hat should give you a slight headache.
So but this is
that
what
explains
I'll be wearing
history.
I will be wearing this at the New
It's also why. So you should know it like that. It's also why they say like you stuck up as a posh person because you had your hat on, so to see you had over the brim, you had to kind of put your head up a bit.
Was that on QI? I feel like that's a QI fact.
Don't know, probably.
Oh,
it's
that was an exclusive.
as far as I'm concerned.
That was a
marked
cat
down in your
fact.
dressage if you wear your hat wrong.
I feel like Christmas Day I'll be shouting at my window, "Hey, you boy, yeah!" I was going to swear
What with
there,
your
but
cane?
obviously I'm going to swear with my cane that I've named Michael. Hey, you out there, boy! Aye.
Bring me a goose.
And I know, I guess that's another wee lesson, you don't need to be too far away just to have a wee bit of a laugh. I've never
Totally.
laughed as much in weeks, months, man, doing these podcasts. A wee bit of
it's
time for
been a lot.
yourself. And the one of the things that came into my mind there, and we were all talking, like, and not through any fault of my parents or anything, like being autistic and being a kid and going smile, and I do it as well to people, like smile for the camera and see it inside. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that rages, like, and that's what New Year and that remind me is like you see the photos of me just sitting there. I'm like, I don't want to be here, it's like, but again, I guess it's back to that whole respecting other people when they like us, and that's all right as well. Aye.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think smiling for photographs is a completely different topic, but it's all true. I mean, it's all like,
I'm still on the like, do people take New Year photos? Like, that's not a thing I'm aware of. But anyway, never mind.
that's just a I'm gonna say it, that's just a drunk selfie for some people. I'm not sure whether at the Bells people do you do the first step? Is it the first step?
First foot in.
Scotland,
First foot, yeah.
Yeah, bring a lump of coal. We used to do in the village, yeah. Everyone go around
that's
together.
like a Scottish typey thing, isn't it? Like
pagan thing, a good pagan thing that is.
Right, Michael, what I want you to do is I want you to open your door, go outside your house, and then go back inside your house.
See if Eddie
Why?
Oh no, that's a whole other thing. No, you go to other people's houses with a coal.
See if I see you with coal, I'm coming to get it.
Because back in the day, like all of the fires would go out, and then you'd have the midwinter ceremony, and then everyone would light a little torch from the big bonfire, and then you'd go back to each other's houses and light your fires from there. Wow. Tribe thing, innit?
Olden days thing.
Yeah.
Amelia still does that, only on the weekends.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Get my candle.
I'm coming to your house. See, because we're doing this in the house, man. It's like I have all these things for about me.
There's a lot of paper around.
Infinite distractions.
I've all these props, but I do have my very own.
I have one of those. I broke it in like 2 seconds.
Jan bought me that.
I was a bit disappointed that it's not actually metal.
I thought that as well, but it's cool, man. It's like it really.
Yeah, I suspect that the one that's like 20 quid is probably metal.
Amelia looks how I feel.
It's fun, but it annoys me that you have to be a bit gentle, otherwise it breaks.
I'm
so angry.
Like, you can't lose yourself in it.
Looks like an angry flower, doesn't it?
It does a bit.
It looks like the thing from Little Shop of Horrors.
I think what you want to do is a different stim toy. I think that's a completely separate thing. Like, you need pin flare in your life, a little polystyrene thing.
Does Andy have any other ones? I'm curious to see if Andy's got any other ones in there.
Yes, I do.
I've only got my Nido.
I have my ultimate stim
I have a Squishmallow.
Let's see.
Called Woodwood.
Woodwood.
So I have this one which has got like wee pins in it, and you can pick them out.
Oh yeah, I've seen them. I'm not that into that though.
It's like busting a spot.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I've also got some butter.
Other people's spots.
Some butter putty.
It's got wee things in it.
Oh no!
Have you seen? You can get the ones that actually look like they're like pink.
Here's the bonus part though.
Ends.
These can then be made into a wee bracelet.
Oh yeah, cool.
Spotty bracelets.
My dried butter putty, so it bounces. And
cool one.
Yeah, all my stim toys are on my stim shelf, which was over there.
So here's a random question before we imagine we want to wrap up. But what did you do for a stim toy before your stim toy? I've obviously said I pick my beard, I do other bits, I scribble, I doodle.
Click my fingers.
Click eye. So
I really noticed when I was working in McDonald's because it's quick and it's like you have to be on the ball all the time. And so like you can't stand and like sort yourself out or whatever. So I would quite often just do, and like I also I have like a slap sequence. That sounds really bad. But like I'll do like clap clap and then on my thighs and then clap clap again. That's my thing.
Oh, that's quite cool. That's melodic, really.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to nip myself, like nip me the inside of my leg, associating pain with taking.
Yeah, I used to do that as well, but then that evolved.
I've not done that for a while, but I'm just interested what other people have got while we're in people's houses. We're in your houses now. We're in your.
Trust me, we're in our own house. Right up in the kitchen.
I
Hello,
also
James.
have
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
James.
Yes, that's another thing, man.
We
Yeah,
all have one of those now.
Yeah,
So that's
they are
constantly on.
a game changer. They wee things, man.
so cute.
All the team have got one now. It's like I come in at night, I've got a wee light on, wee spaceman, sit on a couch, literally into another world, and it's silent.
I've got my sad lamp as well.
What's that?
Oh, the daylight.
An acute depression.
Yeah, like my daylight lamp.
Do those things actually genuinely help/work?
Yeah.
I think candlelight's better.
I would
Well, it
agree with
depends.
you.
So mine, the reason I love it is it's got, you can have it on like blue light or which is your sunlight. So you have that in, and then it also has a warm candlelight setting.
Well, I think I've gave away a wee secret as well while I'm here. Nobody actually knows this is my house that I work in.
Oh.
We just told them now. We didn't know.
Aye, this is my house. Wow. All the years, man, everybody's trying to find where I'm working. I'm like, yeah, top secret. My living room. Here we are in James's studio.
There you go. See, that's why you watch the podcast.
Yeah.
I think during COVID, I actually sent letters to myself with the same address, but I just put Michael's office, and it's still got there. Royal Mail is amazing. Yeah,
that is a great idea.
That's really cool.
Just to give myself the illusion that I was still working as a human.
Right, we are over the hour mark, so I wonder if we round up this episode.
I think so.
Also, though, you reminded me of a really cute thing. You can put like little encouraging quotes or like little reminders for your resolutions and post them to yourself.
Brilliant.
Have you made 10 grand yet?
Like schedule them.
Yeah.
Why? Where's the money, James?
Yeah.
Where's the money, future James?
Yeah.
No, I completely
I like
agree.
that.
Yeah.
So am I doing the roundup thing now? So
yes,
because
please.
this, thank you. So because this is the New Year's podcast, and I think we had a vote, and we're not doing a countdown. Just looking at Amelia's face, like we're not doing a countdown. But from all of us here at We Speak Tangent, have a wonderful 2025, and we will still be here. There are guests booked in January, so tell your friends.
Join us, please let us know.
Indeed. Tell your friends, get in touch, send voice notes, however you communicate.
We love doing this, so
yeah, no, it's good.
We feed you.
It's good. Yes, we do. Yes, that should be the heading. Yeah, eat cake and then in very small bit discuss.
Everyone loves being in neurodivergent space and connecting with people that think like we do.
Yeah. So have a wonderful 2025.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Yes. Yeah, more of a Sarah WST. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon.
Happy days.
Bye.
Bye bye now. Thank you for listening to the We Speak Tangent podcast, brought to you by the Neurodivergent Entrepreneurs Network in partnership with the South of Scotland Enterprise.